Hello and welcome to yet another video where we pick my TBR from the TBR jar. You guessed it. This is obviously my September TBR and I am very excited, first of all because, you know, fall reads are starting, and second of all because all of the prompts in this TBR jar, or most if not all of them, are brand new prompts. So yeah, let's get into it. Usually what I do in these videos, if you're new here, I choose 6 prompts out of the TBR jar for my TBR for the month, and then that gives me a little bit of room for mood reading if I want to, but also gives me some direction for what I'm going to be picking up for the month. So let's get right into it and do the first pick of this month. I'm so excited. There are so many books on my fall radar. If you haven't seen my fall reset yet, that's kind of where I go over my fall TBR and what's on my radar for fall. So let's hope that the TBR jar is of the fall mindset too. Also, it's like very gloomy out right now, so I have the overhead light on, so hopefully it's not making things yucky. Let's see what the first one is. Okay, first prompt. Book that's been on your TBR for way too long. I don't love getting this one. I've gotten similar ones as this in the past. I don't love that because then if it's been on my TBR a long time, it probably is because I'm intimidated or like don't feel like reading it, whatever the case may be. But looking at my TBR cart, book that's been on my TBR way too long. I can also look at my actual shelves too because I did move my TBR back mostly to my TBR cart, but there's always still a few on my shelves. I think there's only like one on that shelf. There's one series on that shelf. A lot of the ones on the shelves though, they're on the shelves for a reason. It's because I haven't really felt like reading them, so they just kind of stay on the shelves. I'm thinking, been on my TBR way too long. You know what? There are some pretty obvious answers, like for example, A Promise of Fire. This has been on my TBR for like 2 years, I want to say. Like, I feel like I've shown this in videos so many times and I just don't pick it up. Because every time I read the back, I just don't really care that much. But this says Kat Fisa, who isn't who she pretends to be. She's perfectly content disguised as a soothsayer in a traveling circus, avoiding the destiny the gods and her dangerous family have saddled her with. As far as she's concerned, the magic humming within her blood can live and die with her. She won't be anyone's pawn. But then she locks eyes with an ambitious warlord from the magic-deprived south and her illusion of safety is shattered forever. Griffin knows Kat is the kingmaker, the woman able to divine truth through lies, and he wants her to be a powerful weapon for his newly conquered realm. See, I don't know, this one's just like not calling to me, but at the same time, I want to try to read it soon because I want to get it off my TBR. So this definitely works for the prompt. But another one I would say I think's been on my TBR way too long just because of like all the hype that I've heard about it. Spark of the Everflame. This has been on my TBR since December, so it's been on here for a long time, not the longest. It's not 2 years like the other one. In my opinion, this works for the prompt because based on the hype of the book, I feel like I should have already picked it up, but I keep putting it off because I want to read it in fall. So I think I am gonna go with this one. I've heard nothing but good things about this series. I've heard that it's like a super slow burn. I don't know, something about the cover makes me want to read it in September. So yeah, I don't know anything about this really. In a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the descended, their cruel magic-wielding offspring, DM Bellator yearns to escape the insular life of her poor village. Her mother's disappeared. There's the discovery of a dangerous secret. The dying king's handsome, enigmatic heir watching her every move. So yeah, I am excited for this one. This is going to be the first pick of September. Coffee break. Pick 2 for September. Read a book from Kindle Want to Read list. Ooh, this is exciting. I feel like I recently got this one. Maybe even in my very last video where we did this. Oh, it's raining out. Yay. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds beautiful. Kindle Want to Read list. Okay, I'm gonna kind of try to show you guys. We have the Book of Azrael, The Stopover, the Mindfuck series, From Lukov with Love, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, Bride of the Shadow King, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, Rules of Convenience, Promised in Fire, Reign of Night, Slaying the Shadow Prince, The Lies of Lena, House of Beating Wings, and then my newest added one is Etched in Frost by L.R. Friedman, and that's like a very wintry Jack Frost kind of romance retelling thing. None of these are really super calling out to me, except maybe The Stopover. For some reason, I kind of feel like reading a book that is, you know, just like a good old billionaire romance, and I think that's what this is. This says, a memorable night of passion refuses to stay just a memory in this sizzling and scandalous romance. I was upgraded to first class on a flight from London to New York. The food, champagne, and service were impeccable. The blue-eyed man sitting next to me, even better, he was suave and intelligent. We laughed and talked and something clicked. Fate took over, blah, blah, blah. With no plans, we made our own. 12 months ago, and I haven't heard from him until today. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've had this on my want to read list probably again for like years. So let's tentatively put this one on the TBR as well. The Stopover by T.L. Swan. And let's hope that my brain can like actually remember that we chose this one, because we don't have a physical representation here, but that's okay. So that is pick number 2. Pick number 3. There are definitely a few on there that I really want. I'm like really in the mood for dark academia. What do we got? Ooh, a 5-star prediction. That's always good news. What do I actually think is going to be 5 stars? I rated A Study in Drowning 5 stars, so it could be safe to say that A Theory of Dreaming could be 5 stars. I also have Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet. That one is a new purchase that I've heard people like rant and rave about that one, but they usually say you either love it or you hate it. So I don't know if I want to say that one's going to be a 5 stars for me. I also have V.E. Schwab's The Fragile Threads of Power, but I'm also planning on picking up Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil probably tomorrow while I'm at the bookstore. That one everyone's been rating super high, so I think that could be a 5-star for me. So I think we're gonna go with that. Even though I don't have it here physically, let's go with Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil for September, because I really want to read that book and I really have heard nothing but good things. And also V.E. Schwab is one of my newfound favorite authors, so I'm thinking it definitely could be a 5 stars. So let's do that one for that. Very excited to read that one. Moving on to pick 4. The shortest book on your TBR. Ooh, that's good news, because we already have 2 fantasies. One of them is long, and the romance that we picked, I believe, for Kindle is also very long. So let's see, we're gonna do shortest book on your TBR. It's not gonna be Fairy Tale, that's for sure. Theory of Dreaming is like 400 pages. Do we have anything less? Probably a romance book, I'm guessing. Let's look at Overruled. Oh, that's more than 400. So Theory of Dreaming is less. What about this one? It seems very short. 361, okay. I think this is probably going to be, upon looking at my cart, I think this is definitely the shortest one that I have on my immediate TBR, which is also good because I keep saying that this is one that I want to read in September, like the going back to school season, because this one is set in a like magical school. I think it's gonna be a cozy fantasy. And this is the Grimoire Grammar School Parent Teacher Association by Caitlin Rozakis. And this is one that me and a friend, we were at Barnes and we saw this and we were like, that sounds so good. So we might buddy read this, I don't know. I need to get a hold of her and see if she still wants to buddy read this with me. Regardless, I think I am going to try to read this in September. This is, like I said, cozy fantasy. You've got a werewolf, you got someone who gets bitten. I think it's gonna be like kind of silly, goofy vibes. There's a magical school. You can't go wrong. And it's blurbed by Sarah Beth Durst. And I loved The Spell Shop. So this will be, what number? This is already pick 4. It's really hard to keep track when I only have like 2 physical books here, but pick 4 for September is Grimoire Grammar School PTA. Very, very excited for this one. Also, this cover and like the edges are so cute. I love. Give me something good, give me something good. Can't pick anything up with these fingernails. They're so long. We have Fits the Current Season. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna take this as current season, not being summer, even though we're still officially summer, but like, because this is September's TBR, and I think fall starts September 21st, we're gonna go with like a fall book instead of a summer book, because I'm kind of over summer books. I don't know about y'all. We're gonna go with fall for this, okay? Now, we have, what do we have that gives me fall vibes? I feel like A Theory of Dreaming would work. Fairy Tale would work, but we already have 2 fantasies, a cozy fantasy, and 1 romance. I also kind of want to do well, I kind of started a Twilight reread. I only have read the first chapter and I already don't know. I'm like one chapter in and I'm like, do I really want to reread it? Do I want to ruin or possibly ruin the memory of Twilight? Because it's not that it's bad writing or anything. I don't think it is. I just don't know if I like feel like, I thought I felt like reading it and then I started it and I was like, I don't know. So I could do this as a reread option, or you know what? I think I want to go with Fairytale by Veronica Lancet, just because this is giving, I think it's like horror, paranormal, I think it's more like, I don't know if it is dark academia, historic. It's got a lot of genres in here. And I'm just very intrigued by this. Today, when I was trying to decide what I wanted to read next, I read like the first couple pages and I'm already very intrigued. So part of me wants to take this on a little trip that I'm going on this weekend, possibly. So you know what? Let's put this one also on the docket for September. Now, even though I'm picking my TBR, I like to kind of keep these as a soft TBR. I don't want to pressure myself too much because then I usually end up not wanting to read those books. So this is a soft TBR. All of my TBRs are soft TBRs, so if I don't get to them, I apologize, but I will eventually get to them. But this is just one that for me seems to fit the fall and spooky season vibes perfectly. So we are putting Fairytale by Veronica Lancet on the TBR as my 5th pick. So now, final pick. We've got some really good ones for September. I'm excited. A book with an illustrated spine. Okay, we have a few of those. I see like 3. I feel like we've done a lot of fantasy. We have mostly fantasy and only 1 romance right now, so I kind of wanted to pick a romance, but I also don't have that much romance on my shelf. Yeah, this counts as illustrated, right? Because it's got a little bee on it. It's not just a plain spine, and the pattern and colors from the front wrap around to the edge of the spine. So I'm gonna say that that counts. That's an illustrated spine, right? Because illustration just means like art. It's not just like a plain spine. So we're gonna go, I think, with Broken Harbor by Catherine Cowles. This isn't a super fall book, I don't think, or fall series in general. This is more just like small town, but it is a series that I've been really enjoying and want to continue with. And this is the next book that I need to read in this series. And this one follows Cope Colson, and who is, I don't know, I can't remember who the girl is going to be in this one, but small town, and all of these have mystery vibes to them. So I do think that this will be a good one for September, especially if amongst all of those, you know, more dark academia fantasy books that I'm reading, if I get the urge to read something completely different, I think this will be a good fit. So yeah, pick number 6 for September is Broken Harbor by Catherine Cowles, and that concludes all of the books. All of the books that we have picked for September. So the stack looks kind of lacking because there's only 4 here, but that is because we are going to be adding Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, as well as The Stopover by T.L. Swan for the Kindle Unlimited pick. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for this month's TBR. That is gonna be the end of this video. If you like watching TBR videos, especially ones where the TBR is chosen from a jar or something fun like that, let me know by liking and subscribing so you don't miss more of these. I would also love to know what you plan to read for September or for fall in general, because fall, in my opinion, is like the absolute best time for reading, the absolute best vibes. I love reading fantasy, dark academia, anything set in fall. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's like peak coziness. So yeah, I would love to know, what do you have on your fall list? It could be bucket list of things you want to do. It could be books you want to read. I just want to know it all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.